Suitcase Gals is small group travel for women over 40, right? Married, divorced, single, or widowed, and you have the desire to travel, but you just can't find a travel companion. Well, we provide seamless travel itineraries and to destinations all over the globe. So, from stunning Scotland landscapes, if you're or escapes where you're peering down to the City of Lights from the summit level of the Eiffel Tower, reveling in a wine tasting and private cooking class in Croatia, or getting your hands dirty as you make some chocolate bars in St. Lucia, or enjoying a Galentine's cruise. We have it all. Suitcase Gals has a ton of itineraries for you that you can come along and enjoy some really nice outings. Our goals are simple. It's definitely a safe haven for women over 40 who travel, make friends, and anyone who is here today that has gone on a trip with us understands that you make really quick friends. We're really easy to get along with. You travel safely. We journey off the beaten path because we're a smaller group. We're able to do those things. We're able to connect with locals and really embrace new cultures. It's all about great food, having a sip of wine, and really supporting one another. And who are we? I'm going to let Leslie take this.
Well, I'm Leslie Coleman, and we started this group back in April of 2021. So we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. We realized, through COVID that a lot of us travel agents got together on Zooms to kind of, bounce things off of each other. And it kind of gave us the idea, well, women really relate well to each other. Our travel needs are different. And that's how Suitcase Gals came about. I've been in the travel industry about 10 years now, retired from the fire department. This was always a side job for me until I retired in 2019. So we love this group. It really gives us a chance to spend time, for us making new friends.
We're going to go through 10 packing tips today, and we're hoping that these will be really helpful in packing for a future trip for you. And it should be stress-free. Packing sometimes does get a little stressful, right? And that's why we're all here today. Some of the other things that we really want you to take a look at before you even start packing is, what is the airline's baggage policy? Because the last thing you want to do is have bags that are too big for that flight that they're now going to charge you for, or too many bags. You want to start with creating a packing list. That's very helpful in determining or even cutting off some of the things when you see them on paper and deciding, gosh, I really don't need that. Because it'll help us from not overpacking. Buying lightweight suitcases is a huge savior. I'm not sure if you guys have seen those. My favorite is the because it's about 4 pounds versus some of the really heavy suitcases out there. And packing your travel insurance policy. After 2020, this has just become a staple. There is not a question of, should I get travel insurance? It's yes, it's complements my trips these days. So let's get packing and let's go through some of these tips for you guys today. So packing, and the tips are in no order, just to kind of throw that out there. We just put them together. Packing tip number 1 is shoes. One of the things that we would highly recommend is wear your heaviest shoes, because it will really relieve your luggage from excess weight and space. So always put on those heaviest shoes. And then use your empty space in your shoes to stuff in some of your socks, or maybe, if you have some underwear or really tightly knit t-shirts, you can just put those into your shoes to save space in your luggage. And then when you're facing your shoes in opposite directions, they'll fit like a puzzle, right? So that also saves a lot of space in your luggage. And then who wants those icky shoes that touch the bottoms of public bathrooms or planes, trains, and so much more to touch your clothing? I love the shower caps. They're plastic shower caps that you can get quite a few of them when you order. And they come in really handy to wrap your shoes in. Great, great option. And again, a lot of these links for things that we think are terrific to pack will be up on our website, hopefully within the next week or so. Packing tip number 2 is clothing, right? Like we've all done this. We've overpacked and we're like, oh my gosh, like how am I gonna get all this stuff in this luggage? And you're sitting on it and cramming it shut and zippering the luggage and you can't do it. The best resource I have found is to roll your clothing. So really tightly rolling your clothing works well. Um, and then look for clothing that's interchangeable so that it allows you to have different outfits without having a lot of clothing. So maybe you have fewer pants and a lot more shirts. And remember, a simple scarf changes the entire outfit. So think of things like that when you're actually packing. Packing cubes, I feel, work better for checked in luggage. I think that because some of them are bulkier, they work really well for checked in luggage. It helps you organize your undergarments. And I have seen some travelers actually use them for different days of their vacation. So maybe you have a Monday outfit in this packing cube, etc. So that's a really good thing. And then also, if you're going to a beach destination, I would recommend packing one of your swimwear inside of your carry-on. Just in case your luggage doesn't show up, you can hit the beach immediately and not worry about your delayed baggage. It's a great idea to have that right inside of a carry-on or purse. Packing tip number 3 is toiletries. The 3-1-1 rule. Does everybody know what the 3-1-1 rule is? It's the liquids, the gels, the aerosols, the creams or the paste that must not exceed 3.4 ounces through TSA. So if you have those in your carry-on, make sure you have them either in a clear plastic quart-size bag or maybe like a little packing cube bag, but 3.4 ounces, 1 quart-size bag, and 1 bag per traveler. That's the 3-1-1. Many stores also sell the travel toiletries. So if you don't want to purchase the reusable small bottles, you can definitely purchase those at the store. And if you're not very picky about shampoos and conditioners and lotions, the hotels all offer them. So you can definitely save space in your luggage by not packing them. But if you're like me and you like a specific shampoo, then you may have to pack your own. So, and then the other thing is making sure that your quart-size bag or your packing cube that you have your toiletries in do not leak. Big thing. Do not leak, whether it's in a carry-on or a check-in. Just make sure they don't leak, because the last thing you want is all that stuff squirting out onto your clothes. And then if you're packing medication, keep it with you. I would highly recommend that you pack your medication in a carry-on bag or in your purse. I also recommend that you take pictures of your medication in case they get lost. And on destination, if you needed to order those, you have somewhere to start to be able to refill them. So again,
just a quick tip on that. Make sure that you take your original medication bottles, or at least have the pharmacy print out an extra label for you to identify your medications. Most countries require it. However, they don't necessarily always enforce that.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. All right, and tip number 4, electronics. Wow. All right, so I always travel with a little travel cube that's in my purse. It has all my electronics. So of course you have your phone in there. And then I usually put my headphones in there as well. I like the wired headphones, not the ones that the plane distributes, because the sound on there is awful. I like the wired better than the earbuds, just because I feel like when I'm watching movies, the sound is much more clear with the wired. A backup battery if you need it, because people don't realize that when you're at the airport, you're using your phone and your battery's already going low, and the chargers in the airport sometimes are not as quick as having your own. And then also if your flight doesn't have a charging point. charger port. That's always helpful to have your own. I love the lightning charger fast because it's a really fast charge. So if you haven't used it, it'll change your life. So the lightning charger works with the Apple phones. And then knowing what the voltage and so forth is internationally, and having an adapter for the country that you're actually visiting is very helpful to bring with you. And I love taking my portable tripod with me on the airplane. It really just, it's super simple. It's portable. I once we're up and running, I put it on the tray table and I can watch the movie at eye level versus looking down at my phone because I'm holding it. So that's another little tip that's really handy to take with you. Travel documents, taking copies of your driver's license, your credit cards front and back, and your photo passport page. I would upload these to an album on your phone, and or I would email them to yourselves. It's really handy if you have them on an album, because when you have to fill out customs forms on the airplane, you can just go right to your albums on your phone, and then you'll have all your passport information there. And then contact your credit card company. If you didn't use that specific credit card to purchase your airline tickets, they won't know you're traveling. And the last thing you want is to get charges denied. So contact them, just let them know that you're going to be traveling and the dates, and they can put that into the system. I would also recommend providing your family an itinerary to know where you're going, so at least someone knows. And then don't take your passport out with you when you're touring. Leave it in the safe. That's what in the hotel safe. That's what it's there. That's what it's there for. And then just take the picture with you. That's more than enough for anyone who needs it, whatever you're doing. You don't need any more than that. Okay.
Gerby, I want to circle back and you slide back
Absolutely.
So Gerby was mentioning creating an album on your phone. Make sure you put a cover photo on there, like family photos, put a picture of your kids, your grandkids, just to kind of mask what that is. So people don't, if for some reason you lose your phone, they're not automatically going to have those documents come up. Same with an email, send them to yourself, with a keyword pineapples or something, that you will recognize, so that it doesn't attract people to that email should your phone get lost.
Great idea.
All righty. So a lot of you out there know that I seem to be the one to take the winter trips because Gerby likes her warm weather. And I love the snow. So we've done a couple trips where winter packing is necessary. It's a little more difficult to pack everything in a small suitcase when you're traveling in the winter, just because of the sheer bulkiness of everything you need to take. So again, wear your heaviest coat and boots. That way you're not adding extra weight to your luggage. Wool socks and really wool sweaters, things of that nature are very good because, they absorb sweat, they're comfortable, they keep you cool, they keep you warm at the same time. And putting your sweaters and things like that in a large Ziploc bag and, suctioning out the air. Ziploc makes some bags where you can literally use your vacuum to suck the air out, or you can just roll them up into a roll to pack in your suitcase. And you can pack a lot more things like that, when you're rolling them into these suction bags. Definitely in the wintertime, fall, and even the spring, make sure you bring clothes for layering. A base level, whether it's a t-shirt or a wool shirt, long underwear, a light jacket or a sweater, and then your overcoat. And most importantly, a lot of people forget this in winter travel, but make sure you bring your sunscreen and your sunglasses. If you're out somewhere in the snow, that sun can really wreak havoc reflecting off of the snow, and you can get a nice sunburn, and it can really irritate your eyes. All right. Um, Medications to pack. A lot of times, it's very difficult in foreign countries to find the exact things that you want, or it's difficult with a language barrier trying to determine, what is Tylenol or ibuprofen, Benadryl, and things like that, because the names are different. Things that I tend to carry are either Tylenol or ibuprofen, maybe some of both. Benadryl for any unanticipated allergies. It also doubles as a sleep aid if you're having trouble getting adjusted to the time zones and things like that. Imodium is always something you should pack, because you never know when you're eating foods how they're going to react. Sometimes things that you eat here at home and you try the same thing overseas is made with different ingredients. Sometimes things are washed in water. And even though the water may be good, our systems and our stomach's not used to that. So it can cause an issue. And the same thing goes for Pepsid or some type of antacid relief. Spicy foods might be different than what you're eating at home. And even though, you like your Tabasco sauce and things like that, you can get a little antacid from things that you don't normally eat. Always make sure, if you're taking vitamins, you bring those over-the-counter things, and any sleep aids as well. All right. General things to bring when you're traveling. If you're going to beach destinations, water shoes are a must. We're very fortunate here in the US to have nice sandy beaches when you go out into the ocean, but you don't always know what lurks under the water. So make sure you bring a pair of water shoes. They pack very nicely, they're flat, and they dry very quickly. If you're cruising or on some type of an expedition trip, make sure you have binoculars. I have a wonderful pair of travel binoculars, and they come in really handy when you're on a ship or you're trying to see across the water. And it's just good to have. A small first aid kit. We don't need to pack anything large, but things like a few Band-Aids, some antibiotic ointment, things like that are always good to have with you. Being retired from EMS, I always have my little medical bag with me. So, first aid kit is definitely in my luggage. Again, clothes for layering. You never know what the weather's going to be like. We do recommend that you check the weather in the destination where you're going, so you have a better idea, of what the upcoming week might look like. You can't plan for that far in advance, but at least you have a general idea and know whether, you need to bring extra layers, or a raincoat or anything like that. Beach towel. Now, a lot of people think, well, I'm not carrying that with me. They're very bulky, but you can get some very thin beach towels. In places in Europe, they don't necessarily sell beach towels there, and they may not have them at a resort or location where you are. One of my trips to Italy, I spent about 3 hours trying to find beach towels so we could take an afternoon to the beach. And when I did find them, they were like 4 pounds a piece. So they make some very nice lightweight ones. They dry quick, they fit in a little bag, and you can just tuck them away. Same with umbrellas. The weather can change no matter where you are. So having a compact umbrella saves you from having to try to find one or, buy one overseas. And my favorite one is a travel mirror. I can't tell you how many hotels you go in and there is no makeup mirror there. And you can see I wear glasses, and, when it comes to getting older, it's very difficult to put on makeup without those travel mirrors.
Agreed.
We have a comment in here from Edith. Pack a little spike ball to massage out the aches. Everybody knows that, your beds at home are comfortable, but you don't know what they're going to be like when you're traveling. So sometimes you get that little twinge in your lower back, but that's a really good idea. All right, jewelry. A lot of times people want to, take a lot of jewelry to change with their different outfits and things like that. And that's all well and good. But we don't recommend bringing any expensive jewelry, other than maybe the rings that you wear or a certain necklace that you wear all the time. You want to kind of limit what you bring because, people are looking to borrow those things out of your bag. You always want to pack them in your carry-on or your purse so that you have them with you at all times. And I always suggest that you put your necklaces in like the little snack size Ziploc bags or the little pouches that they give you from the jewelry stores, because that way it keeps you from getting, 2 or 3 necklaces all tangled up. It's always a mess when you have to spend 20 minutes trying to pick your jewelry apart. And last but not least, immerse yourself in travel. It's really important to learn about the local culture. When we travel, we don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. And we don't want to be inappropriate either. What we might find is appropriate for us at home may be very inappropriate somewhere else. In Italy, when you go into a church, you can't have anything below, you can't wear anything above your knees. So it's always good to wear slacks there. And you want to try to blend in with the local culture. Or at least, find ways not to offend them. Don't sweat the small stuff. With traveling with Suitcase Gals, we put everything together for you. We try to have attention to detail, lay everything out so that there's no questions before we travel. We always have one of our Suitcase Gals as the tour leader, whether it's Gervie or myself, and we're going to introduce Laura, who's going to be starting to do some of our tours. And, just if you have questions, ask us. We want everybody to feel comfortable. We don't want anybody to feel left out. So always, if you have questions or you're having some issues, please come to us. That's what we're there for. All right, so we have a few more in our Unravel Travel series. We're going to be doing March 28th, and we're going to talk about passports, customs, and immigration. April 18th, we're going to talk about preparing your phone for travel, what you need to do. And on May 23rd, we're going to do safety tips for women travelers. So mark your calendars. We'll have the links out for those soon as well. Please follow us on social media. We post pictures from our tours. We post pictures from our local meetups. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on the things that we're doing. It's very important to us that you comment on our photos. We want to know if it's something you like, or, if there's other things you want to see. So you can use a little QR code here to find all our social media from Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that there and share more of our travel information. You can email us at any time at suitcasegals@gmail.com. And both my number and Gervie's are there. Mine is the top number, 443-244-7124. And Gervie is 240-461-8361.
Going to end today's program, but every thing today will be uploaded to YouTube, and you will also have all the links to all of our tips very soon.